Anyways, 100 Thieves up against eUnited. Again, a big match for both these two teams. Obviously, you have to go through a couple of juggernauts here for eUnited. You have FURIA still to deal with. You need to have a strong start here. But then again, same for 100 Thieves. You got to get this victory under your belt, a team that you are expected to beat. And we'll see how their form is going to be played on over the course of this match. Dust, how you doing? You sick yet for me?
No, I'm actually somehow surviving, which is great. We are on Dust2. This is a map that, as David was saying, it's not really been a big one for eUnited in the past. It also hasn't really been a great one for 100 Thieves either. It had a couple of recent wins, but other than that, for most of the year, it hasn't been so hot. So we'll have to see who's a little bit better form this time around, as we are seeing eUnited on the pistol looking to really just charge down long A with their flashbangs here, limited in that. They are able to get across, though. Unfortunately for them, Gratisfactions greeting them with the USP on the other side. Short-lived, though.
Very short-lived, as eUnited completely destroy them on the site. Jacob and JKS, the last two left remaining, trying to get back in on this one. They do not have a kick currently on them, but they do have, luckily, 3 players in sight, and they still have to deal with Cooper at long range. That's going to be a big problem for them, and you can tell they're very aware of a player being there. They could go for the boost up as well, and you can see that Moose is already protecting as well as Marky. And I feel like eUnited, this is going to be a round for them to lose. Like, it should be relatively easy considering they have all angles covered. JKS, though, has something to say about it, but with only 5 HP left and time running out, he's just going to have to give this one up.
Yeah, does get a parting shot off onto Marky to get another little kill there, but it is indeed going to go to eUnited. It's a team that in the first group stage actually was not too shabby. They took maps off of eUnited in complexity, and they beat Cloud9. That's how they made it to the second stage. But outside of that, things have been pretty tough for them in the offline environment. And obviously, they've made 2 recent roster additions. Freakazoid's debut was at ESL 1 New York just a couple of months ago, and now we have Moose coming on the team. Not only that, but Freakazoid changing role to in-game leader. So there's a lot of moving parts on eUnited. Definitely coming as the underdog. But Freakazoid's a guy who has played underneath really good in-game leaders, like Steel, like Sean Gares. And he's a guy who's always been known as kind of like a leader of men. Like maybe not a tactician, but a guy who, you know, can rally the troops and be kind of that emotional backbone of the team. So I think that they can still do pretty well, even with that change. And we're going to see if they can do well here on this B-bomb site.
And Jacob playing up close with the Mag 7, able to get 2 big kills and a third. Might be able to get a 4th. What? Could he potentially pull off the ace with the Mag 7? Switches to that USP, and Jacob will get it. The Mag 7 picking up 4, the USP picking up 1, and, well, 100 Thieves just stealing away that round.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy stuff to see him be able to get the ace, 4 Mag 7 kills up close. You're not expecting the Mag 7 to be sitting there at that B tunnel's entrance. It's one of those rounds where you think that you're going to be up against maybe upgraded pistols at best, maybe a scout at the back of the platform. I think that caught them way off guard. That's a crazy win. That's Jacob, the B-bomb side anchor for this 100 Thieves team. He does so good at it, and that's a big, big round. They steal away an SG, a Galil. They keep another couple of rifles as well. There you have it.
And by the way, I'm actually excited for the matchup between JKS and Marky, because we talk about the SG and how strong it is. JKS got to where he was in the first group stage based off the SG as his main weapon. And Marky did relatively the same thing. There's a big fragger for eUnited. I'm actually excited to see Cooper as well. His aggressive opping was paying off on maps like Overpass.
Right.
Once again, I want to apologize with my voice. I'm a little bit ill. Just trying to power through it.
It's all good, man.
Got Dust here to carry me through.
I don't know, you're rather a large human, so I'm not sure that I can quite carry you. Either way.
Dude, I've seen you squat. You could do it.
Yeah. So a pretty clean sweep there for the CT side. So the Force Wars have been lost by eUnited. They'll have to take a full save in this next round. A chance for 100 Thieves to go ahead and jump up to a pretty substantial lead. Here on their CT side of Dust2, the map pick of eUnited. Again, not a map either team is super well known for, if I'm honest. So it's kind of odd that we find ourselves here, but eUnited will have to Glock it out this round. That's all they got.
And if we compare like percents, 40% win rate for 100 Thieves with 5 maps played, 20% for eUnited with 5 maps played. Then you look at Mirage, 62% win rate for 100 Thieves with 13 maps, 20% for 5 maps for eUnited. And then of course the last map train, 60% for 5 maps for 100 Thieves, 40% with 5 maps for eUnited. So yeah, I mean in general obviously it's favoring 100 Thieves, and again I want to say that 100 Thieves have been playing much more difficult opponents over time.
Yeah.
And they should be considered the favorites in this matchup, and I think there's not many people out there that can really disagree with that statement.
Not the way 100 Thieves has been playing right now. I mean, they've been on a tear. Like they had this period kind of early in the year where they were doing really, really well. And it had a lot of high hopes for this team, and then obviously they had to face a bunch of stand situations. Like last group stage, they actually played eUnited for Season 9. That was way back in April, but they had to use 2 stand-ins. I think Cutler and Smoogie both had to stand in because of these issues with Gratisfaction. I can't remember if it was Jacob or something as well that wasn't there, so that result doesn't even really count. But now they've been able to get their 5 back together, and since then they got top 4 at the last major, top 4 at Solidar Season 8, second place in Beijing. They did really well in the first stage other than losing to Team Liquid. So they have really been able to jump up the international rankings and start looking like a hot team again. Nice to see. Also, I was curious how United would set up because I feel like Food was taking all of Moose's old roles when Moose left the team. So that means like playing outside long A was something that Food was doing. But now Moose is back, so Moose back into his original position. And that means that Food's playing a more active role, kind of entry fragging with Freakazoid and, of course, Cooper's AWP, so that'll be the main control group. Marky continues to play the B-Tons as he had in the past, so that hasn't changed. Just want to give you a little bit of an update on how the roles are shaking down for United, because this is our first look at them. I did hear they boot camped for about 4 or 5 days before coming here, so they had some practice together, but not a whole lot, so obviously we can't really know what to expect.
They've been able to kind of sneak their way out towards middle. No op for the side of 100 Thieves, so it looks like United's going to take advantage of the situation, make the push towards B. They have the 3-2 split. Jake's actually going to go for the challenge, and Freakazoid's going to take his head clean off. Jacob, though, only get the spray onto 1. United with a relatively clean take on the B side. Can they defend it? I mean, Gratisfaction has the Galil. They don't have the most ideal weapons, but they have a couple players a little bit low in HP. Moose down to 9, Cooper at 51. Maybe they can afford to set in Gratisfaction because that's not a weapon necessarily would keep it to the next round. But Food gets the shot. 100 Thieves able to return, but they're going to save this. It's going to be a little bit too difficult to take this one back, and they'll give up the round to United.
We all know how hard retaking B can be on this map, especially now numbers down. So, as you said, very likely they will go ahead and save these 2 guns over. They have plenty of money to buy around it into the next round. They can even go double AWP if they want, something that JKS will certainly do as the B rotator on this team from time to time, with Gratisfaction kind of being the one floating on the A side of the map. Azza may even have a chance to get some exit frags here. He's hiding behind a tricky position here outside T-spawn behind the car. He will pop up and look for some shots, but everyone stays hidden. Ooh. Right there at the end, it looked like he might grab something, but it didn't quite happen. So a big round from eUnited. Definitely a team that in the past, when Vanity was their in-game leader, they were a very loose and scrappy team. They loved to just do spawn-based plays. They like to be super assertive. Don't really mess around. They like to just kind of gather up and trade and just kind of, again, do the faster-paced plays. So I imagine that Freakazoid will probably try to keep that identity. That's something that when he was the in-game leader of Swole Patrol and Mountain Dew League, not that long ago, actually, that was something he was also known for. So that's kind of my guesses. But, again, still don't really know. A lot of changes, though, in eUnited and not a lot of time together. Debuting Moose back on the lineup, and we got a tech pause. You do hate to see it.
I think something's going on with Freakazoids in particular.
Yeah, it's somebody on the eUnited side. I think it's the guy sitting next to him.
Cooper?
Might be. Not sure. He's not on stream.
Obviously, you want to get Cooper, make sure he's comfortable, everything's working, because he definitely is a strong
he's like
to deal with when it comes to the op.
I think he's like the star of this team.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I really do. Like, I think that he has, especially since Moose's departure, like when Moose departed way back when, I felt like Cooper really was taking up the mantle as kind of the star of this team. It was kind of him and Marky were like the 2 that would consistently be able to perform, and then the other pieces, it was kind of, hit or miss. With Moose back on the team, though, if he can pick up where he left off, Moose was always their most consistent player. Like throughout his entire tenure on this team, even with all the other roster changes, back when he used to play alongside guys like Relics and Dazzle and Dapper, that's going way back into, last year even. Moose was always that rock you could kind of rely on, so having him back is actually great. So maybe it'll be Moose that becomes the star of the team again. I'm not really sure, but we'll see.
Well, it's sure as hell one good way to find out, at least in the first match of their group. Could have picked a much more tough opponent.
Peace.
Oh, speaking of Moose, he's dead.
Caster's Curse, of course.
Yeah. Double upset coming through. JKS gonna be looking to lock down middle as he backs away. Azza to rotate back in to help assist, and well, there you go. Clean round so far for 100 Thieves. The United's not really been able to have any duels, to be honest.
No, not at all. I mean, Gratisfaction just straight up big balls play there on the peak at long A, getting that opening kill, and it's really just fed 100 with these ways since. Finally, a streak of success here out of Marky, who was kind of trying to pry open the speed bomb site. Cooper coming out middle, but gets caught right away. That's also the bomb carrier. So even though Marky's getting kills here, the bomb was quite far away, and he gets caught in an off timing with a nade in his hand, and so 100 Thieves will take over. And that's kind of what I'm curious about, because Davey made a really good point earlier about how like Jacob and JKS are two really great performers. And that is not a bad fragger for in-game leader standards either, but Gratisfaction's kind of the guy that I feel like has really struggled, and he's in the op role, and that's very important. It feels like that's one of the advantages that eUnited might be able to leverage in this series is I feel like Cooper is the stronger opper on the server, and this is a op-heavy map, but so far Gratisfaction's been playing pretty well.
I think the biggest strat eUnited could do to prevent JK. Oh wow, the nade coming through. Poor Marky.
Whoa.
Is
Died to fire, actually.
Yeah, so he was a Molotov down, he got naded, and got
Okay.
stuck in the Molotov.
Gotcha.
But the biggest thing he could do, probably one of the best things, is just not buy an SG for United, because JKS, like, I don't know what it is. I mean, you can even think back to this map in particular. The first group stage was able to pick up a couple of 3 and 4Ks with it. Yeah. Obviously, it's not a realistic strategy, but just an idea of how well JKS was playing with the SG.
Yeah. JKS is a nutty guy. He was always the best player on this team, even back into like their Vox Eminor days. I mean, I'm talking years back.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. You're saying Sponge wasn't one of the best players?
I think JKS is their best player always, yeah. I do. I will say that. No offense to Sponge, of course. I'm sure he would admit that JKS was kind of always the rock of the team. But my point is that he's coming back into really good form lately. Like, he's had some really good tournaments over these last few months. Getting back to kind of that vintage JKS form that, you know, always he was kind of known for. I mean, I feel like he had like a bit of a cooling off period there for a bit, but I feel like he's back in action. And again, that's the type of form that made other teams interested in him. I feel like JKS is one of those guys that we always thought might wind up on like a top North American team or something. But now that this group of people from Australia, New Zealand and such are actually getting to be internationally relevant, start climbing the rankings, now he doesn't have to worry about that. He can just do something with this team, which is what they've been doing the last several tournaments, which is why they're one of the favorites to advance in this group.
Let's see though if they can keep that momentum going. They still have the double up set up for Gratisfaction and JKS, and they still have a lot of money built up for their side too from these first rounds. And you can see that Gratisfaction is more than willing to kind of hold very aggressive with an offensive towards the ball. JKS in the meantime has been dropped by Cooper, so first op v op battle goes the way of United. Even Azure being tagged up here in middle, looking to escape. He's still trying to run away. Luckily, he will be able to get back towards that B side. And United look at a group up to head towards Catwalk. Gratisfaction will be waiting. He'll get the first kill. The bomb now down, going towards them. I don't know how a rectangle like that rolls, but it does. But Cooper's still there, and he picks up 2. Very explosive opera right now for eUnited.
Finally a chance to win a round, it feels like, too. I mean, they've been kind of having some struggles, but now they have a post-plant 2v2 on this A bomb site. Good positioning as well. Asa might flake off long a bit faster than Tees are expecting, but actually the angle already being held by Moose. But Asa looking to find his dome piece. Now it's all on Cooper.
You can see Azur's rotated back towards short, and Cooper, he's going to expect Azur to still be coming from that direction, but as we can see, it's not going to be happening here, so we expect both from Catwalk. Molotov comes in, actually forces him out of his position just a tad bit. They now know exactly where he's going to be. Nade comes in, and, well, it's double nade stack, actually, and they're going to be able to clean him up, get the defuse through. The chance was there for United to win the round, but it did not work out in the end, as 100 Thieves put themselves up to 6.
Yeah, really good job there by Asa. That shot he hit on Moose was just earth-shattering, especially after such a great effort from Cooper, getting his team onto that A bomb site, giving them a winnable 2v2. Did so much there, but just wasn't quite enough, and 100 Thieves are building a really big lead on the CT side now. It's starting to get a little bit scary for United because they're going to have to save into this round, or at the very least just kind of go for like maybe upgraded pistol buy so they can full buy in the next. And I mean, when you're letting a CT side get this many rounds this early on Dust2, I mean, you're in for a bad time. Meanwhile, Food and Freakazoid have only gotten 1 frag apiece. Moose only 2, so not a great debut from him so far. I mean, it's looking a little bit rough out there. I mean, if you take Marky out of the equation, there's only 8 total frags with the 4 players on that team, and I mean, Asa has that covered in more by himself. Jacob has it covered by himself. The other's not too far off from being able to do it. So, yeah, something's got to change here for United.
Well, I mean, Grass Faction basically claimed long A. He hasn't really had to contest or deal with too much contention so far. And if anything, they actually have 4 players over towards his A position, already expecting the hit out towards long to happen, but Molotov thrown in. The utility's going to be there to delay this. United with just pistols, though. If they want to go for this, they're going to have to rush straight through the smoke, and Liaz will be waiting with open arms. He's getting a nice little double spray down, gets the 3rd as well, so gets the damage done for the 100 Thieves. And Grass Faction, unfortunately, gets caught with his nade out, but they know exactly where Freakazoid's going to be. To rescue the weapon, not going to be happening for him. He's got so many angles to worry about, and he also has to worry about the bomb being down towards long A. And 100 Thieves know it's going to be there, so they can actually keep a man watching towards tunnels. Freak has to hit some nutty shots when he has a chance to pick up the bomb, and well, as you see, it gets cleaned up. 7-2 now for 100 Thieves.
I mean, after watching that brutal 16-4 victory that we saw FURIA get over ISURUS earlier on Overpass, I believe it was, I didn't think it could get much worse tonight, but this is so far looking real grim for me, United. They've really only had like maybe 1 or 2 close rounds this entire game, other than the 2 that they've obviously won, but one of those was a pistol. Only 1 rifle round to their name. But they are back onto the full buy, op in the hands of Cooper, who's had a couple of good showings.
He's had some flashy moments.
Yeah, definitely, especially that 1 round a couple ago where they almost won the 2-on-2. Almost got their 3rd round there. So yeah, certainly now that it's back in his hands, maybe we can see something happen.
As I mentioned before, Food's still on 1 kill though. You're gonna need a couple different players to start to step up here to build up some rounds that they're desperately going to need as they swap to the CT side. And 100 Thieves not invested into the double op setup like we saw before. They have the SG for JKS, which is the weapon he wants to be using. It's the weapon he honestly just destroyed everyone with when it came to the first group stage. And Liaz waiting. That flashbang, I was expecting to be thrown in. Allow the push to come out of double doors. Instead, Liaz now has an assistance from a teammate. That's a 2nd kill. So United, they've traded equally for the push out towards long, but with only 40 seconds left, are they going to be able to make the cross with Gratis Faction still waiting at the actual site?
Yeah, it's just going to be a tough one, isn't it? Op train from platform towards long on a long distance duel is going to be brutal, but Marky's helping things along, finds a pretty big kill at middle. That gives him the man advantage, and it gives him more options actually to choose from. The thing is, they need to make a decision fast because time is indeed running low. That kill at mid, though, keeps Jacob in place, which means Gratis Faction is still solely responsible for defending the A bomb site. Now we're seeing Jacob make the rotation over. He's going to be on the catwalk. These incendiaries are going to be so brutal, it might even stop them from getting in the site and actually planting this bomb in time. In fact, I don't think they are going to be able to start this bomb plant in time.
Nope.
No, they're not. And that kill, it certainly ensures it now. I think United just needed to pull the trigger a little bit faster. They had a 3-on-2. They needed to go. Killed way too much clock. Comes back to haunt them. Another round for 100T, and obviously a big round for Liaz. This is a guy who has struggled a lot on this team since joining. He looked like a stud in the Australian scene playing for Order for quite some time. Obviously, he had to take on kind of a new role as everyone else is already established. We had to kind of get used to something, and I feel like Beijing for him was kind of a breakout event. He performed really well there as they took 2nd place. So hopefully Liaz could keep it up, because that would certainly add to the overall firepower to the team if he could.
Well, Grass Faction switching some things up was towards long in prior rounds now. Be looking to push up towards short for an early kill. Still leaving Liaz to defend long by himself and putting Azur over towards CT spawn. So a lot of emphasis on towards this middle control and the potential for the quick rotates towards B. That's where United was successful in one of the rounds, was the 3-2 split on towards B.
Ooh, run boost there. Causes Gratis Faction to miss his shot, and actually does give Stairs control over to eUnited. It's kind of the basic map control you want to get. It opens up the ability to cross cat or do mid B, and it makes it hard for rotators to kind of read where the attack's going to be coming once you lose this space. They've done some chip damage, though, with some grenades. They still do have a stout defense locked in on each side. They don't have to double op anymore for JKS as the B rotator, but still, they have a strong A defense if indeed this is going to be the area that eUnited commit to. They're also kind of running low on utility. I mean, they have a smoke for the drop down and the cross if they want, as well as incendiaries for the sight and maybe Goose or something. But they need to make a decision because last time they ran out of time, and this time it's maybe going to be something similar if they don't move fast.
Grass Faction hits the first shot, drops the bomb, has with the flashbang, allow him to peek in, and he gets himself one. Helps get the assist on the Grass Faction. Yeah, Freakzoid's been able to drop down towards CT, but the bomb's still on top over towards short. Moose has to go through so many different targets to actually get towards the bomb, and he's by himself. Thieves again, 9-2, gonna take another round.
And this is just looking really grim for United. I mean, I've already kind of mentioned that a couple of times, but as each round passes, I feel like it gets worse and worse. Like, instead of getting better as each round passes, getting closer to getting round victors, I feel like they're actually fading as each round passes. Like, I feel like the rounds are getting even more lopsided now. I mean, this round, it's just, they look a bit disjointed. Like, Freakazoid gets CT spawn, but usually when you get CT spawn, you want to smoke there, and you want to come up the slope, because what you want to do is force the Opera on A ramp to have to not only worry about cat cross, but also worry about that slope push. But instead, Freak kind of sits in spawn, and so Grass Faction gets to focus on the cat cross. There's no effective flashbangs that push them off. They don't even get really any incendiary or Molotovs or anything like that, because normally that's the other thing you kind of want to do to flush the Opera out of position is put fire under his feet. Couldn't really do that either. So Grass Faction gets to hang around, gets kind of a free op kill. Then they are the ones that get to use their utility, you know, pop flash peeking, working together. They had 3 players there defending. So it's just looking like 100 Thieves are kind of playing textbook really strong CS. They have 3 different players over 180 right now, and still no one really from eUnited has been able to really leap off the page. And as a team, they have just really struggled to have any impact in any of these rounds, and they are just falling way too far behind for a T-side Dust2.
Now they have the Deagles, the Decos you called before, with a little bit of armor to back it up. But someone needs to step up. Someone needs to jump off the page, as you're mentioning. Because right now with 100 Thieves, there's multiple players who are doing it so far. Liaz, JKS, Grass Faction.
Yeah. No one negative on 100 Thieves. No one positive on eUnited. That's kind of the tail of the tape so far. It's not a great stat line if you're an eUnited fan.
Freakazoid taking 46 points of damage from that one grenade. Trying to peek out to hope that they get maybe a contact hit, but Azur pushes out and gets 2. Moose by himself yet again. But you're not really expecting too much anyways, only has the Deagle. Exactly. It's going to be too easy for 100 Thieves.
It really is, man. This is just getting really, really grim. You could basically add like 4 players of eUnited's frags, and Azza and Liaz, either one you want to choose, almost has it covered by himself. And then you just add all the other fragging from the other 4 players of 100T, and you can just really spell out a picture of domination.
Don't you draw a picture?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's like picture languages, like hieroglyphics or something. I don't know.
You're not wrong. I wasn't judging. I was just asking a question.
You know, I'm trying to analyze the CS more than I'm trying to like get other things correct, so I can only juggle so many things.
Well, at the moment, we do have Cooper back on the op.
Yeah,
It hasn't been too effective. I think we had 1 round with
One
it.
round, but they didn't wind up winning anyway. Speaking of juggling, eUnited juggling a ton of L's right now.
Can't hold
7
on
L's in a row. You really can't. You gotta juggle because there's just so many L's that, like, I don't know, man.
I mean, it's rough. Like, this 100 Thieves is probably the favorite to get through the entire group.
It's hard between them and FURIA. I feel like both of them have been looking good recently, so it's hard to pick between them. Luckily, we don't have to. They get to play each other to figure that out.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Food with a nice little kill onto Liaz. Opens up the A site. But you can see Food's not comfortable to cross. He has no smoke, so they're putting some pressure towards Catwalk. So he rotated in. And Cooper the only one with the smoke.
This is like the best opening eUnited's had probably all half long of the winning pistol round. So I'm hoping that this is a sign that we're going to see him get around. I feel like they have good positioning. Everything's looking good. Great kills from Food and Moose there as well. Oh, almost a 2-for-1 though from Gratis Faction. And somehow he's found another kill. Oh, they're not trading him yet. Finally it happens, but it's kind of costly. Luckily they still have a 2-on-1 though, but one's really low on health. And that HE grenade from Jacob could actually end him. Luckily he's not on the site.
Oh, I bet Cooper wishes he went towards long A, and unfortunately...
Is that bomb planted for long player?
I think so, yeah, just barely. But if you're Marky or you're on 14 health, you're not going to peek too often. That nade, if you just want a little bit more left, it would have been enough. The Molotov might be able to do it, though. He's going to land in. Marky stuck in the corner. If the Molotov burns this way, he's going to fall.
So close.
Now peeking out.
Missing
the shots, and Jacob gets it. And he's going to get the defuse. Such a rough round for Marky. And 100 Thieves are going to clutch it out. That's a shame.
That is a shame, because that was a initial 5-on-4, and then after that, I think it was a 4-on-3. Might have even been a little bit worse than that. Might have been a 4-on-2 at one point.
It was
Either
a
way.
2-on-4
Yeah.
for Thieves because Grass Faction picked up 2 kills before he
Yeah,
died.
those 2 kills from Food and Moose. It's just these 2 from Grass Faction are like just the X Factor kills. Puts Jacob into a winnable 1v2. You gotta close those if you're United, man. I feel like if you're not closing that round, how are you ever expected to win one? And again, I don't want to be overly harsh, though. I mean, it sounds like I am, but that's just because they're getting wrecked. But we obviously know they're underneath a tough circumstance with the player changes.
Oh, Grass Faction's stuck here. There's Incendiary to come in, but they don't seem to need it because he peeks into Moose. 3-on-3 now. They even have Jacob potentially flanking him behind them. I mean, it's almost seems kind of puggy right now, actually, which is the way United are playing. Just kind of like, all right, let's go out long, see if we can get it. Let's go out short and see if we can get a pick.
That's even scary that this is their map pick. So this is the map that, in theory, they're probably most comfortable on from their boot camp. Again, they've had limited practice together, just 4 days, I think. Not only are you changing a player by bringing Moose in, but you're also changing Freakazoid to an in-game leader, so it's almost like 2 roster changes. And Freak hasn't been on the team that long anyway.
Yeah.
So that's asking a lot of him to take on that role with a group of players that he's not familiar with, other than he did play with Cooper and Marky on Swole Patrol, so he has some comfort there, I'm sure, with them. But still, this is a lot of moving parts at once. That ain't it.
Oh, Jacob's still there for the quick rotate. JKS. I mean, there's no smoke to cover the cross. This should be at least 1 kill. There you go. Marcus in a fall spot to the other players. Cooper's going to return, though, and Azur's just trying to stall for some time. He's low on HP. He will fall to Moose. Now Jacob comes in, but doesn't have a chance here. Moose gets a triple kill and puts United onto their 3rd round. But you have to kind of wonder, 3, can that potentially be enough? Even 4, would that be enough for them if they can close out this round?
I mean, that's really, really rough for a T-side Dust2. Like, normally that's where your bread and butter is going to be. Normally that's where you get the majority of your rounds, or at least like kind of half of them. T-sides on Dust2 are usually quite strong, so especially if it's your map pick. So definitely, probably is still a little bit too late for all this, but hey, at least they went around, especially in a precarious situation where they could not smoke the cross. That makes, obviously, it way more challenging, but Moose came up pretty big there. Finally a big round from him, but it's pretty short-lived because we see 100 Thieves quickly into a 5-on-3 in the final round of the half.
I think Freak got tagged, actually, as he's trying to head towards short, and then the nade came in to finish him off. Kind of unfortunate, but again, good read by 100 Thieves. And you're trying to see Cooper. I don't know, like his defensive opping I felt like was way better than his offensive opping. CT versus T side. Thinking back to like overpass in particular, he was hitting some nutty shots while he was on the CT side. Well, speaking of nutty shots, Moose is starting to come alive. He's starting to wake up in the last round in here. Getting up some entries.
Gets him into a 3-on-3, actually winnable. Unfortunately, Moose and Marky are very, very low on health. Now, 2 of these players are using Ops as primary weapons, so that helps them out maybe a little bit if they were able to cross paths, and the health wouldn't be as much of a burden. But obviously, it's going to soften them up for Azza if he were to find them out at this cross here. Everybody's kind of tucked in the middle right now, just holding the angle for some type of mid-push. JKS there with him.
So much emphasis on, like, mid at the moment for 100 Thieves. They don't have anyone watching long. I mean, they kind of have JKS every once in a while.
Right.
B's technically wide open at the moment.
There is a smoke for the cross this time, but only 1. So that means there would likely be a gap whenever they try to cross, which could give JKS a shot with the AWP. Also, Azza is now pushing and checking, and maybe he could even come up cat and help watch the cross.
Oh, he's just going to flank it behind.
Yeah, that too.
And you have Grass Faction posted up, so he knows they're not short. JKS helping to watch the cross, see if they can get far enough through. And Grass Faction to JKS. Azza won't even have a chance here as he finally does come in. Gets Cooper very low on health. And Cooper's got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. He's got no time to boot.
Yep.
That will be 12-3 first half.
Indeed, it will be 3 rounds only for United, and one of them was a pistol, and none of them were connected. I can tell why JKS is bored. That was just too easy for him that half. Everyone playing well there from 100 Thieves, and this is looking like the most lopsided scoreline we've seen really all group stage too long so far. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll finish things off here on Dust2, so stay tuned.
heart into something gold. Knew I sold my soul to the devil long ago. I rode it all along on your wave right before it broke. Time was thrown down the well, so I let you go. What I do right now. What I do right now for you, for you. Carolina skies in the night, floating by your side. I fell up when you fell down, but we stayed in flight. I'm laughing to myself, cause I know that I can't deny. I can't find what you can't hide right inside my mind. What I do right now. What I do right now for you, for you.
Well, you know what? If you blinked, you missed out on the very quick, very fast-paced 12-3 first half scoreline. We had 100 Thieves take on Dust2 up against eUnited. Azur's faction. I mean, JKS, he's not even top fragging for his team, but he's doing good enough. That just shows how well everyone else in the team is playing, and just honestly, how easy of a game this has been so far for the Thieves.
Yeah, they have been robbing eUnited of every single round this half other than 3. Again, one of those being the pistol. So not a whole lot of success here for eUnited. Only been United in losing so far.
Using that flashbang to actually jump up towards short. And typically you'll see a smoke free because of those directly behind them, but that jump might have given his position away. I think Jacob has heard him, and well, that's unfortunate. That could have been a phenomenal flank. Now FURIA start hitting some shots, and there's 3 kills, and unfortunately he's not going to be able to. They still have 2 players over towards long. The bomb will be planted for short, though. They do not have a kit currently on them. Marky's the one to pick it up, though, but he's back towards CT spawn.
Also, Cooper's really low on health. Headshot angles being delivered to Marky. Those are hard to hit, and they all kind of just work together to kill one guy. No one else is really there to help out this CT retake thus far. Now they're trying to come in, but they're just getting eradicated, man. It's just kind of deja vu from the first half, really. This is, I don't even know how to describe this. Again, I thought that 16-4 that we saw earlier today would be the most one-sided game of the group, but
Hey, we're not done just yet.
we're not, but I mean, if this 4 spot doesn't work, it's pretty much GG.
For over the optimist, huh?
But it could work, and then it wouldn't be GG. So there is the positive side of it.
Well, we'll see. Already able to pick up 2 players, Food. Got himself 2 kills with the scout. So at least have something going for him. They're actually going to trade out a couple of weapons. Lias picks up the SG from the MAC-10. And Food may be looking for a 3rd. He's going to be hungry for it, and United need to be hungry. He's been flashed up as he heads back towards the B site.
Yeah, really important from the closest round, because if they were to lose, 100T gets 14, then you're forced behind the rest of the game because you don't want to give a 100T map point for free. So they really need this to shake up. So far, go in the right direction.
I mean, even with only 3 players alive, they still have an AK, they still have an SG. And Azur, well, one of the top fraggers for 100 Thieves, is one of the players who's still alive. Smoke comes in, so they could cross towards the B side. Ooh, Cooper's gonna get the tag with the scout this time. But I like this, they're just kind of walking out. They're forcing eUnited to check this. Prospect comes in, tries to push through, but unfortunately the damage that Cooper did prevents him from being effective. And now it's on Jacob. He gets double sprayed up, potentially going for the third as well. It's in a 1-on-3, 30 seconds left to go. He has one ace already so far today. To pull off another would be very difficult to do.
Especially with this much health and the positioning that eUnited have, and the bomb is nowhere near his possession, so he will just kind of be backing off. Maybe he'll just look for some exit kills as he pushes through long. Money is going to be low, too, for 100 Thieves. So eUnited, off the back of this force buy, will be able to push this to 13-4 and very likely win the next round. So this could be exactly what they need to start trying to get back into this game.
Well, the only unfortunate part is, as you mentioned, they can't really afford too many mistakes. They can't really afford to lose out in another round. Especially here. If they buy up into this round and somehow 100 Thieves is able to win with just the 1 AK they saved, that would be basically GG.
Yeah, having to get into some type of like force buy war situation now for eUnited would not really bode well for them whatsoever. And that's why 100 Thieves is actually taking the time out. They realize that, hey, if we force up this next round around the AK that Jacob saved, maybe we can take it right back to eUnited, and then, you know, they're force buying the rest of the game. So that's up to them. Obviously, they have so much breathing room that saving, you know, would not be a big deal at all. So it's just kind of up to them what they want to do.
I think they're going to go for it. I think they have the confidence. And like you said, they have so many rounds to play with. It's not really a big detriment to buy up and at least force up the pistols, which they've gone for. And they've been able to win rounds with less than this.
Yeah.
And you can
Single
see,
max 7 won around earlier.
Yeah.
Granted, that was like a special case scenario with like a superior position.
Well, it looks like they've been gifted catwalk control. You can see Freakazoid, the one with the M4, going to be sitting inside of Goose. Got Cooper there with the scout, and Moose going to be over towards long with the SG. I mean, obviously the scout's not too bad, but if once they deal with Freakazoid, if Moose isn't going to rotate to help them, it's going to be really tough. And obviously with these smokes being thrown in, maybe they're looking to actually prevent long from doing anything. Cooper gets the first kill and the tag. All right, so the scout's doing some good work here. Azure comes in, though. Now Freakazoid by himself is going to be cleaned up by Azure as he's over towards the ramp.
Uh-oh. Weren't expecting Moose over there on the platform, so he gets a free headshot, actually delaying this bomb plant for a very long time, allowing these other two CTs to be able to rotate the slope.
Oh, that was a good spray, Marky. Azure trying to switch to the AK, but he gets spammed out through the smoke, too, and unfortunately, 100 Thieves won't be able to pick up any more kills than that, but they still get the bomb down. They still punish the economy a little bit out of eUnited.
Yeah, that was actually a little bit scary, though, for eUnited to begin with, because, like, yeah, Cooper hits a really nice headshot, but Freak's only good for 1 kill. Same with Cooper. Azure gets a couple of big kills, and they get the plant. If it wasn't for Moose on platform getting a couple of big kills with the SG, that could have very easily been a force buy that goes 100 Thieves' way. So definitely big props to Moose for kind of saving the day. And this will now force a save at 100 Thieves. This is where we can start seeing eUnited build up some rounds, maybe start making this a more respectable scoreline. They're still well far away from posing an actual threat to 100 Thieves, but, I mean, it's small steps. 1 round at a time. Maybe you'll eventually get yourselves in striking position.
And if
Surely
anything,
this round you should.
like, building some confidence into the second map. Even if you know, aren't feeling too good here, even if they're not able to come back, like, you know, getting some people popping off, like, get Moose hitting some shots. It was only Marky previously was really doing much of anything.
Sure.
It's a nice little warm-up for Moose to, you know, potentially hit his stride on map 2. But obviously that's if, I mean, we're going to map 2 no matter what, but obviously determine right in this game of who will be up that first map. And I don't want to say eUnited's out just yet. I feel like, though, once we get the SGs bought up, at least in particular JKS, that's where things get tricky.
Hard to see 100 Thieves not figuring out a way to win 3 rounds in their T side based on how we've seen them play in the past and how they were playing in the first half.
Pretty similar position the way eUnited were holding before, except Moose could be a little bit closer to the rest of the team. Well, that's going to fail.
Still They'll get out, though. Obviously, superior firepower, though, for the United side of things. And the Boots, Freakazoid, and company all well-positioned. So, kind of the round we expected, really. But this next round is going to be the real test for United. We're going to be able to see the buy up here, though it's not going to include an AWP, probably, but plenty of SGs, I imagine.
Yeah, some pretty good crossfires there. Again, it was just the Deagles, but still. I mean, they cleaned those kills up without really taking any damage at all. But here we go. The SG's bought up for 100 Thieves.
No op for either side, actually, coming into this, so there is an SG for Moose still. But he has been taken down already. A very quick action towards middle here from Jacob, the entry fragger of this 100 Thieves squad. Looks like that mid-B split is going to be coming into effect. They have JKS in B tunnels, and Marky is so isolated. Going to very easily get pinched, though. Food actually did find a spam through spawn, so that helps out a little bit, but still, B goes down, bomb won't get planted. 3-on-3 retake attempt, going to have to come in. Did they even try is the question.
Money is a little bit tight, right?
Yeah. There's a little bit on freaking Food, and they need to win rounds, so might as well try, actually.
And got utility to do it as well. And as we can see, 100 Thieves, well, it's pretty much just going to all be on Liaz. He's in a position we can't really afford to throw out utility. Flashbang comes through. Liaz going to get caught out. JKS is going to come in to throw the Molotov down to prevent the defuse from coming through. Now Jacob on the other side of the smokes looking to blow off the play. And a 1-on-2 Food burning up. And our Freakazoid's by himself, but he has to wait to actually get on top of the bomb. He has the kit, though.
Yeah.
And United will still take the round.
Good retake there by eUnited. It's always scary retaking even numbers, but it was one of those rounds where you kind of had to go for it because you couldn't be giving rounds away. Didn't really have the breathing room to be taking saves and trying for a different round. And they are able to pull it off, so fantastic work here from eUnited. All of a sudden, the game is starting to get interesting. We're at 13-7 now. Well, with that bomb plant and the loss bonus being built up, 100 Thieves is still able to buy here, so they don't get an easy round just yet on the eUnited side of things. But the double op is in play. So from 0 ops to 2, could catch 100 Thieves off guard.
Well, if the pace is fast again, I'm not sure if the double op is actually going to be useful. Mark already low. JK's going to be burned up by that Molotov. Unfortunately, gets put in the wrong position with it and is not able to relocate himself somewhere else. Marky gets a little bit overzealous and pushes up and does pay the price. Grass Faction gets out of doors as well, but trying to switch over to the gun. And he actually gets the kill immediately onto Cooper. Liaz, in the meantime, has found one over towards middle.
Oh my goodness, every single play they go for is getting absolutely destroyed.
Yep.
It started off so well, and then out of nowhere, they just start dropping players. All those refaces at long A, none of them really pan out. I don't know how Gratisfaction got away with all that. It's insane. I mean, I'd love to see that replay because those are kills that he should be getting traded all day long. Now look at the money for United. Moose has to just save. They don't have any loss bonus, really. They obviously need to buy because they don't want to give 100 Thieves map point for free, but it's not going to be a pretty one.
I mean, this is big, though. At least able to save the op for him. And considering they didn't have any ops, like you pointed out, then buying double op here, the money investment that came into that. And that's the downside of investing into double ops and not really accomplishing too much. And they only got 2 kills.
Yeah.
They have to hope that, I'm assuming Cooper will be using it. Can hit some really big shots or hope they come in his direction. I think maybe use him as a floater then. Maybe play towards middle to look for someone earlier, or maybe use that to lock down long A initially and then leave someone there. But they got to hope for something big.
Yeah, they really do. Not exactly sure what all they'll have to work with. There was some money on Marky and Freakazoid and Cooper, so it'll be all right. It's really just kind of the lack of utility that really hurts, and the fact that Food is actually going to be going an unarmored M4, which is kind of surprising. I feel like you would get armor and get like a FAMAS or something. Don't see unarmored M4s too often.
Well, he's at the back of platform. So aim punch isn't really going to matter too much, I guess, for him. It seemed like they really wanted to hit that shot and execute towards B, though. I mean, they still had 2 players there to defend the op for Gratisfaction to help him out in case he did get the kill to push in. Decide now to rotate back towards middle and leaving the 2 players outside of long. So will this turn into like a mid to B hit, or will this turn into like a 3-2 split in A? Maybe just like a 5-man push from catwalk, or sorry, 4, and then leave a player behind.
Yeah, all the options are open to him at this point. The problem is Cooper's playing aggressive on the catwalk. He is going to catch Gratisfaction doing a little bit of a peek there, so that is a big opening kill for eUnited. It's going to do wonders for them. Now they can just kind of fade back, play default, and just kind of hold on to their man advantage. Especially since they have a really stout defense at A, and Marky is really holding off long nicely, so all their bases are covered, really. It's all going to come down to this cat cross and how successful it is, it seems like. Or, like you said, there is that chance, too, that they just audible to mid B. Our 2 players on site.
Yeah, looks like they're going to be going to B now.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be in.
He's got it clear. He got the smoke to cover it off, too, so no one can push in to help out. They even have JKS to kind of lurk inside of tunnels. Looks like Jake will be the first one to make the push through. Flashbang be thrown in. Moose completely blinded up here. JKS gets the first kill onto Food. Moose, he has to hit so many shots to have a chance, and unfortunately, he gets dropped almost immediately. Luckily, Freakers is able to take one back, but Azur's still lurking.
He is. Catches Freakazoid, Marky, and Cooper, now the only 2 left. Marky able to find Azur, though, so it's a 2-on-2. It's still winnable. No kit, though. That's just one down on site.
I mean, do you almost just save this?
No, you got to.
A Molotov and a flash. You got no money to buy in the next round. It's all or nothing here for United. Push it in. Cooper's gonna get the first kill. Jacob's still alive, though. Jacob's just trying to stall for time the best he can. Cooper looking for the op shot, and Cooper will get it. Bomb gonna be defused here. United should be safe another day.
Pretty close, though. If you could have bought a couple of more seconds, might have been able to actually pull that one off. But great job there by eUnited. It was a very dicey round because it was a great mid-B attack there from 100 Thieves, especially considering that Marky, I think it was either Marky, maybe it was Moose that was inside the B side, actually had a really good off angle and didn't get a single kill from it. And that was obviously really scary. But luckily, Cooper's op work throughout the round was enough to get the job done. So you see him here getting his 3 kills. Keeps eUnited in this game. Actually have 100 Thieves in a vulnerable position, too. If 100 T loser, they have to save again. That's where United can reach double digits, and then all of a sudden, I mean, it's kind of opening back up the game.
Again, kind of similar strategy to what we saw before. It looks like they're going for a big boost here to see over the smoke, and they're going to spot him out, and Food's going to be eaten up. Unfortunate for him, now Moose alone on the site. Flashbangs come through, do look good, but Gratisfaction hits another shot, and the B site will be taken. The bomb's not there just yet, though. It's a little bit of time will be...
Yeah, plus there's a flank already coming in here from Marky, and I'm not sure if he's ever going to get fast enough to actually make it have as much impact as he thought it would. He's actually backing off, checking key spawn. And since they're this far out of position, now they do have to save. Because it's a 3-on-4, so retaking numbers down, tough. But this puts them in a really bad spot, man. You never want to be having to save guns just to play for overtime. You have to win 7 in a row to get to 15 to force the extra rounds, and that's something they have not ever been able to do this game. The most streak they've had is 4. So it's going to be a really, really big ask out of eUnited. But we'll see. They've at least shown us a little bit of life here in these last 5 or 6 rounds.
That was a sick boost.
Yeah, it was.
To be fair.
Yeah.
Like, if you're Food, there's no way you're expecting that. Like, no way.
Probably not.
You can't even blame him for dying there. Oh, here we go. Map point coming up. 100 Thieves could close this out here and take us on a Mirage with the 1-0 lead.
Yeah, you hardly ever see that boost, man. That is pretty wild stuff.
The buy not quite good, though, for United.
No.
MP9 for Food. You get the FAMAS for Moose. Like, they do have the out for Cooper, which has been kind of a shining light within the team. He's got a boost up now, and
That flash, though.
100 Thieves actually haven't been giving an angle there too often. They leave Azur and Spawn to just check for the quick push into mid to lower tunnel. I think that was like the one round he could have had a kill. Oh, they're gonna do it again.
Oh. Freakazoid thought he was going to get the jump because they thought that Jacob was focused on shooting towards platform, but Jacob able to pick up on that push, and now we're one step closer to 100 Thieves locking up this map. Remember, this was the pick of eUnited. So this is definitely scary times for them. So we are going to see 100 Thieves looking to commit to this A attack here any moment, all on Cooper to defend.
He's got to hit some ridiculous shots. He's getting tagged up. Fortunately, just not quite able to hit the shots finally. He's able to close out the first and the second as well, still surviving, but Jacob's gonna rush him down. Azure again coming from long A, has both players in his sights. Click, click, click. 2 kills come through, and now Marky flanking him from short. Bomb will go down, Grass Faction spots him out. Azure's there to help support it. Grass Faction will close out himself. 16-8, 100 Thieves take map 1.
Well, considering that we were at 12-3 at one point, I guess you could say there was at least a little bit of life out of eUnited, but it was certainly still a far cry from what they needed to actually be able to lock in their pick of Dust2. Instead, 100 Thieves takes it away. Some might say stealing it away. Trademark of their team name. And now we'll move on to their pick here in just the moment, see if they can 2-0 the series. That will be Mirage. But first, we got to take a short break, unfortunately. So, folks, stay tuned. We will be back in a bit to bring you the rest of this series.